Hello, kindergartners. Today for science, we're asking the question, what can we observe about leaves? Remember we talked about what the word observe means? It means to look at something very carefully using our eyes. We're going to use our senses to observe. We're going to look. We're going to listen. Maybe we can hear something. Maybe we can touch, we can feel, maybe we can smell something. We're not going to taste the leaves. Although the mint that I planted last week, the reason I keep it inside is because it's wonderful in my tea. It's also great in some recipes, so mint can be very handy. Let's go hunting for some leaves and see what we observe. This is one of my azalea bushes. I have lots of azalea bushes. I'm going to take a leaf from my azalea bush. That's an azalea leaf. Let's see what else we see. I have a fern growing outside too. This is an interesting one. We'll take one of its little leaves. Look, those bunch of leaves all together. So I'll collect my fern. Maybe if you do this at home, you can get a bag to put your leaves. I realized I probably should have had a bag. Here's our tree that we were looking at before. This is that 6-year-old maple. Look at some of these. Look at what we can observe. I observe that the color of these leaves is changing. I'll pick one of those. That's beautiful. And I'll pick one that's still green. Let's see. Let's go for this one. Okay, I have a collection now. I have my maple leaves. This is some sort of geranium. I'll pick that one too. And when you go picking leaves around your yard, make sure you have a grown-up with you to tell you which leaves are safe to pick. You don't want to pick poison ivy or some other dangerous leaf. Here's my Korean dogwood tree. I'll take a leaf from my Korean dogwood tree. That leaf looks like that. So I have that leaf now. This tree here, take a look at these leaves. Look at that. Interesting, right? Last but not least, I'm going to borrow a leaf from my neighbor's evergreen tree. Take a look at those. Those have those pointy leaves. So now that I brought all of my leaves in, I put them out, I spread them out, and I can look at them and see what we can observe about leaves. Well, using my sense of sight, my eyes, I see that these leaves are kind of prickly, and these leaves look a little bit like these leaves. They have the same kind of shape to them in the sense that they're pointier at the top and then they get wider at the bottom. They're more pointy. These are pointy too. These leaves have some lines in them. These leaves do too. They have lines in them. These leaves do too. If you get really close, you can see the lines in these leaves. Oh, wow. These leaves do too. There are lines in them. And even if you get really close to these leaves, you can see lines in them. That's something that I observed. I didn't really hear them. The leaves didn't really sound like anything, but imagine on a fall day when the leaves are all on the ground. What might you hear if you step in the leaves? You might hear crunch, 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 right? The leaves dry out and they are all crunchy under your feet. I can touch them, and I told you I feel this one feels pointy and spiky. Some evergreen trees are even really spiky and painful when you touch. They really stick. They could stick you. This one is not. This one is a softer one. It doesn't stick me and hurt me. But when I touch them, these leaves are smooth. These leaves are a little rougher. This leaf is smooth. Ooh, this leaf is actually almost fuzzy feeling. It feels like it's covered with a little bit of fuzz. has a different feeling to it. This leaf feels smooth. This side feels really smooth, but this side feels much rougher. That's something that I was able to observe. And smell, if I smell the leaves, this one actually has a smell to it. It smells a little bit like I would imagine an evergreen would. This one, the geranium, this leaf, I wish you could smell it through the video. This has a really strong smell, this leaf. You can actually smell it from across the room now that I've brought it inside. This leaf has a big, big smell to it. It's not a smell I like either, but some people might like it. And none of these leaves are leaves that we would taste. Some leaves that you taste, have you ever eaten salad? Those are lettuce leaves that you taste, that you eat. But we would never ever go out and just eat leaves because there are a lot of leaves that are poisonous and we do not want to eat any leaves. We do, however, again, make sure if you go leaf hunting, make sure you do it with a grown-up who can tell you leaves that are safe, because some leaves are not even safe to touch. We want to make sure that all of the leaves that you touch are safe. No poison ivy, no poison oak. Lots of leaves are not safe to touch. So make sure you have a grown-up with you when you go hunting for leaves. At this time, I'm going to take the next clean page in my science notebook and I'm going to glue some of the leaves into my notebook. There, I glued everything except the stinky geranium. And there's my science for today.